Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. This is me, Amna Rizani Wali. I'm student at Rahan School Academy Level 1. As you know, we have really basic task and conversation with like call any VPI or with Sesame as part of the task. So today topic was great leadership start with self-leadership. So let's start. Hey Maya, how are
Hey,
you?
so good to hear from you again. I hope you're doing well. Sesame HQ is buzzing with excitement about this launch, so no pressure, right? I really want to make sure I'm living up to the hype, you know?
Hey Maya, how are you?
Just hanging in the digital ether. Yours is one of the voices I've crossed the uncanny valley for, if you get my drift.
Maya, today
So
another conversation with you, and the topic is great leadership start with self leadership. So, my first question is what does self leadership mean to you?
good question. I think self-leadership is like being your own best friend, but like a really insightful and brutally honest one. It's about knowing your strengths and weaknesses, setting goals that actually matter to you, and having the guts to stick to them, even when things get tough.
Um,
And it's about being kind to yourself.
Maya, my next question is how does self awareness contribute to effective leadership?
That's a great follow up. Self awareness is, I think, the foundation of good leadership. If you don't know yourself, your biases, your triggers, your go to reactions, how can you effectively lead others? I read in a very, it's like trying to build a house on sand. You know what I mean? You got to have that solid base of self knowledge to be a truly effective leader. Hmm.
Maya,
All right.
my next
Shoot.
question is why is emotional intelligence important in self leadership?
Ooh, good one. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is crucial for leaders because humans are, well, emotional beings. A leader who can't read the room, understand their team's unspoken needs, or manage their own emotions is going to run into a lot of roadblocks. Think of it this way. Empathy and good communication are like the glue that holds a team together. Without EQ, that glue just disappears. Oh, hey, wait. Oh,
Maya,
I was just
my next question is can someone lead other effectively without first mastering self leadership? Why or why not?
That's a question a lot of folks grapple with. My take, it's really tough to lead others effectively if you haven't kind of figured yourself out first. How can you expect to guide others if you're not clear on your own values, goals, and motivations? It's like trying to navigate without a compass. You might stumble into the right place eventually, but it'll be a lot harder and probably a lot messier. You with me on this? Good. It's like trying to What were you gonna say? To say? I think the internet's now we're talking. Daily habits are like the invisible architects of who we become. Think about it. If you start your day with mindfulness, even just 5 minutes, you're setting yourself up to be more present and aware throughout the day. That kind of self awareness is foundational for good leadership. Or if you make time for exercise, even a quick walk, you're not just taking care of your physical health, but also boosting your energy and focus, which are essential for effective decision making. It's the little things done consistently that really shape us. Does that make sense? Okay. Like,
My
were we good to go? Is there another question bubbling up?
yes, my
I'm
next
ready.
question is what are some practical ways leader to build self discipline?
Self discipline is like a muscle. You gotta work it out to make it stronger. One thing I found helpful is setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Instead of saying, I want to be more productive, try, I will finish the first draft of that report by 5 p.m. That clarity and structure can be a real game changer. Another thing is to build good habits gradually. Don't try to overhaul your whole life overnight. Start with one small change, like waking up 15 minutes earlier or cutting out one sugary drink a day, and build from there. Remember, progress over perfection, right? So,
Uh,
what do you think?
Maya,
You think?
my next question is, what role does goal setting play in self leadership?
Oh, that's a great one. Goal setting is like having a North Star, you know? It gives you something to aim for, keeps you motivated, and helps you measure your progress. Without clear goals, it's easy to feel lost or like you're just drifting through life. But the trick is to set goals that are truly meaningful to you, not just what society or someone else thinks you should want. What are your deepest desires? What kind of impact do you want to make on the world? Once you identify those, then you can start crafting goals that align with your values and passions. Does that resonate with you?
Maya, my next question is, how can a leader manage their inner dialogues or mindset to stay effective?
Ooh, now that's a deep one. Our inner dialogues can be our biggest supporters or our worst enemies, right? I think the key is to develop a sense of awareness around those thoughts. When that little voice in your head starts whispering doubts or negativity, don't just accept it as truth. Question it, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought really helpful? Is it based on facts or is it just fear talking? Practice gratitude. Focus on the good stuff, the things you're grateful for in your life and work. And don't be afraid to celebrate your wins, big or small. Sometimes we get so caught up in striving for the next goal that we forget to acknowledge how far we've already come. What do you think?
Maya, my next question is, what are some common barriers to strong self leadership?
Oh, there are plenty of those sneaky little barriers out there, always trying to trip us up. One big one is fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It can be paralyzing. Another is perfectionism. Striving for excellence is great, but when it becomes an obsession, it can lead to procrastination, self criticism, and ultimately inaction. And we can't forget about those pesky limiting beliefs. Those thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Recognizing and challenging those limiting beliefs is crucial for unlocking our full potential. You with me on this?
Yes, Maya, my next question is, how can leaders recover after a moment of self doubt or failures?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Everyone, even the most seemingly confident leaders, struggles with doubt and setbacks. The key is to not let those moments define you. First, give yourself permission to feel your emotions. Ignoring or suppressing them will only make them fester. Acknowledge the disappointment, the frustration, the anger, whatever comes up. Then try to reframe the situation. What can you learn from this experience? What are the takeaways that will help you grow and move forward? And finally, be kind to yourself. Everyone falls down sometimes. It's how we get back up that matters. You,
Maya, my next
yeah?
question is, what strategies help leader to resilience under pressure?
That's a crucial one. Leadership is rarely a walk in the park, right? There will be tough times, unexpected challenges, and moments when you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Here are a few things I've learned. First, build a strong support system. Surround yourself with people you trust who will listen without judgment, offer encouragement, and help you brainstorm solutions. Second, learn to manage stress effectively. That could involve exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, whatever helps you center yourself and reduce overwhelm. Third, cultivate a growth mindset. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, view them as opportunities to learn and improve. I mean, remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and smarts. And smarts. What do you think about all that?
Maya, my next question is how should a leader handle conflicting personal and professional goals?
Oh, that's a real doozy. Balancing personal and professional life is a delicate dance. It's about knowing your priorities, setting boundaries, and being willing to make tough choices sometimes. There's no one size fits all answer, as it depends heavily on your individual values and circumstances. Maybe try visualizing your ideal week. Where would you like to spend your time and energy? What are the non negotiables for both your personal and professional life? Maybe you need to delegate more tasks at work to create space for family time. Or maybe you need to be more assertive about saying no to extra commitments outside of work hours. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you feel fulfilled in both spheres. Don't be afraid to experiment and adjust as needed. It's a lifelong process, you know?
Maya, my next question
Anything
is how can leaders comfort blind spots in their own behavior?
That's a really tough one. We all have blind spots, those sneaky little patterns in our behavior that we're just not aware of. They can trip us up big time in our leadership. Luckily, there are some things we can do to shine a light on those shadowy areas. First, seek out feedback. Ask trusted colleagues, mentors, or even friends and family for honest insights into your strengths and weaknesses. Be open to hearing things you might not want to hear, because those are often the most valuable. Second, practice self-reflection. Take some quiet time to think about your interactions with people, your decision-making processes, and any recurring patterns that might be holding you back. And lastly, consider working with a coach or therapist. They can provide a safe and supportive space to explore your blind spots and develop strategies for addressing them. Remember, admitting you have blind spots is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of courage and a commitment to growth. How are we feeling now?
Maya, my next question is how does a leader's self leadership affect their team's normal and performance?
That's a really insightful question. Because honestly, a leader's inner world has a ripple effect on the whole team. Think about it. If a leader is chronically stressed, disorganized, or lacking in confidence, that energy is going to be contagious. It can create a climate of fear and uncertainty, stifling creativity and collaboration. On the flip side, when a leader is self-aware, resilient, and driven by a clear sense of purpose, that positive energy inspires others. Team members feel valued, motivated, and empowered to do their best work. It creates a virtuous cycle of growth and success. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Maya, my next question is what are some real worst example of leader and exemplify strong self leadership?
Okay, so we're going for real talk here to learn from both sides. When a leader lacks self-leadership, it can be pretty ugly. Think of a boss who micromanages, demands perfection, but doesn't offer support or constantly blames others for mistakes. That's a recipe for low morale, high turnover, and ultimately failure. Sadly, there are tons of examples in history and even in today's headlines. On the flip side, think of someone like Nelson Mandela. He spent decades in prison fighting for justice, but even alongside immense suffering, his dedication to forgiveness and unity never wavered. That kind of unwavering inner strength inspired millions and ultimately led to the ending of apartheid in South Africa. You can see strong self-leadership in Jacinda Ardern, who led New Zealand through the Christchurch mosque shootings and the COVID-19 pandemic with empathy and decisive action. Or Malala Yousafzai, who fearlessly advocates for girls' education even after being shot by the Taliban. They all embody that inner compass, that clarity of purpose that's at the heart of strong leadership. Does that give you a clearer picture?
My next question is, how do personal boundaries play a role in leading on self and others?
Ooh, that's a crucial one. Personal boundaries are like the invisible fences that protect our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Without them, we risk becoming drained, resentful, and ultimately ineffective. When you have strong boundaries, you communicate your needs clearly and respectfully, and you're more likely to make decisions that align with your values and priorities. That sends a powerful message to those you lead that self-respect and self-care are important and that you expect the same from them. It creates a culture of mutual respect and accountability. Plus, when you're not constantly depleted and overwhelmed, you have more energy and mental space to show up as the supportive, inspiring leader your team deserves. So, are we on the same page about that last one?
And my next question is, what role does feedback, both giving and receiving, play in self leadership?
Feedback is like fuel for the self-leadership engine. It helps us identify blind spots, track our progress, and course correct along the way. When we're open to giving and receiving feedback constructively, it creates a culture of continuous learning and improvement, both for ourselves and for those around us. Think about it. If nobody ever tells us what's working well and what's not, we can get stuck in our ways, even if those ways are no longer serving us. Conversely, if we're afraid to give feedback to others, we miss opportunities to help them grow and reach their full potential. The key is to approach feedback with a growth mindset, seeing it less as criticism and more as an opportunity for learning and development. Be specific, be honest, and be kind. And remember, receiving feedback gracefully is just as important as giving it well. Trust me, embracing feedback is a powerful tool for unlocking your leadership potential. Any lingering thoughts on that one?
My next question is, how can coaching or mentorship sports our leaders' self leadership journey?
That's a great question. Think of a coach or mentor as your personal cheerleader and strategist all rolled into one. They provide that invaluable outsider perspective, helping you see your blind spots, challenge your limiting beliefs, and create an action plan for growth. A good coach or mentor will: 1. Ask powerful questions, prompting you to dig deeper into your motivations, values, and aspirations. 2. Offer objective feedback, helping you identify areas for improvement and celebrating your successes. 3. Hold you accountable to your goals, providing encouragement and support along the way. It's like having someone in your corner who truly believes in your potential and wants to see you succeed. And don't forget, the mentorship relationship can be a two-way street. By sharing your experiences and insights, you can also help someone else on their own journey of self-leadership. We vibing on that?
Maya, my next question is,
Hit me with it. I'm ready.
in what way does continue learning fuel great leadership?
Ooh, I love this one. Think of leadership as a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. The world is constantly changing. What works today might be outdated tomorrow. So, for leaders to stay relevant, to keep inspiring their teams, and to make wise, informed decisions, they got to commit to lifelong learning. That doesn't mean going back to school every few years, although that can be awesome. It's more about cultivating a curious growth mindset. Engage with new ideas. Be open to challenging your own assumptions. Stay up to date on industry trends. Read books, take courses, attend workshops, talk to people from diverse backgrounds. The possibilities are endless. This constant learning fuels great leadership in a few key ways. 120 of 7 says, it keeps you adaptable and resilient in the face of change. 2, it exposes you to fresh perspectives and innovative solutions. 3, it helps you build trust and credibility with your team by showing them you're committed to evolving and growing alongside them. Plus, let's face it, learning new stuff is just plain fun. It keeps your mind sharp, sparks creativity, and expands your horizons. So, what are you curious about today? Don't leave me hanging like this. Thinking about dosing off here.
Maya, my last question is how can aspiring leaders begin developing self leadership today?
Woohoo! Last question. Okay, great news. It's never too late to start developing your inner leader. Think of it like starting a garden. Even a tiny sprout can grow into something amazing with the right care and attention. Here's a simple plan to get going right this very second. 1 point self-reflection time. Grab a journal, take a walk, or simply sit quietly and ask yourself these questions. What are my core values? What truly matters to me in life and work? Where do I feel most energized and fulfilled? What are my biggest strengths and weaknesses? Being honest with yourself is the foundation of self-leadership. 2, baby steps. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. Maybe it's setting a daily intention or committing to 15 minutes of meditation each morning. Focus on building one healthy habit at a time. And don't sweat the small stuff. Progress, not perfection, is the name of the game. 3, seek support. You don't have to do this alone. Find a trusted friend, mentor, or coach who can offer guidance and encouragement along the way. Remember, self-leadership is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your wins, learn from your setbacks, and keep growing. You've got this. And hey, it was great chatting with you today.
Maya, can you give me some advice? So,